Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
It is here. It has come. The grave knell of the bells woke the city that morning. The tides of war had arrived. The ravens arrived a moon's turn ago from Wickeden, Runestone, and most worryingly from Pike. The same man who swore Lister the eternal loyalty of House Greyjoy in front of the city has rebelled. The Turncloak has hollowly pledged his swords and ships to the Vale. 2 members of the King's Council, Lord Ofgar and Lord Hugh Royce, Enger's own cousin, a grandson of my own father, both of them my nephews, are at each other's throats. Enger summoned his vassals and lords bannermen. None bar the Steelhearts answered from the Vale, and House Redwolf of Seaguard have sided with the rebels. I do not forget that House Redwolf comes from the loins of my beloved brother Ambrose, whom I lost to war long past. It is blood alone that turns the wheels of history. I sometimes feel as if it were a cruel jape from the gods to make a creature so belligerent that war be the only way for such change. Alas, Enger's lords arrived from nearby lands. Others were belated in their arrivals. All from old Andalia arrived bar those treasonous heathens in the Hornwood. Do they know nothing of honour? House Rack humbled by the Firehands, since the passing of good Lord Estian, they have been a thorn in Andalia's side. However, whatever House Rack has become in the past years, they have significant power in men. Their treason was a blow to Enger, it cannot be denied. Eventually, a host of 40,000 men had assembled at the capital, and Enger addressed his lords sat on his weirwood throne. Though he walked amongst them first through the pale white halls, inspecting them, his gaze that when needed could chill the blood of any man. He ascended the stairs to his throne, slowly, and sat down gingerly, his leg not fully healed from my operations. My lords, hear me. You have read your summons. You know why you come. Those savage heathens of the Isles and ill opportunists in the Vale think themselves above my justice, above my law. I assure you all that no one here and no one in that rebel army is above the justice of the gods, nor the justice of the gods' own anointed king. I see these traitors, Royce, Templeton, Redwolf, Greyjoy, Rack. Some are kin to me, others hold their land and offices only by the writ of my brother. My brother's edicts won't save them. The blood I share with them won't save them. Remember this, my lords. Remember what will happen to these lords of ill repute, and tell your children what happens when you cross the might of House Sevenstar. Though I doubt my leal lords need a rallying cry, I offer one unto you now. What lands do these traitors border? That of Saltpans, my lord Mutin. Am I correct? That of High Oak, my lord Danes. Am I correct? Your lands, Lord Crownless, sit ripe for those recreant serpents, no? Those red wolves sit next to you, my Lord Mud, do they not? And let us not forget the Iron Men my mother brought them to heal, but before that they had reaved and raped without thought wherever the wind carries. You've answered your summons out of loyalty. To me, yes, and for that you have my admiration. But fight for your people, your lands, and for loyalty to your families who will surely pay for these traitors that are so desperate for advancement, my lords. Believe me, we ought to give it to them. Our armies are assembled. Let us show them the reward their ambition will get them, a one-way trip to the Seven Hells. He left the hall in a stony, stoic silence, his face unmoving. His lords murmured in agreement with his words. Lister was loved, as was Lyanna, but not Enger. He is respected. None were taken aback by Enger's manner. He is ruthless. He always has been, throwing dust into Lister's eyes while they duelled when they were little. He did this while being a boy. It seems like nothing, but in a testament to his character. What on earth will he do to these pretenders, I ask? They have brought it on themselves, but at what cost? How many mothers will weep? In peace sons bury their fathers, but in times of war it is fathers that bury their sons. Not many know the wounds of true war my brothers and sisters lay dead. How many more will join them for the Royce boys' folly?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, and the Knights of Andalia, where we are here in Sevensport, the capital, with our 40,000 men. Well, just shy of 40,000 men. The rest are on their way. Why is Enger not leading this host. I don't know why he's in charge of that small one. I want him in charge of the main host, just so he's a little bit safer. So yes, we have our fleet here, 278 ships. I believe there is more on their way around Westeros. We want to get our fleet here, just in case we need to maneuver, well, outmaneuver the Greyjoy fleet, which is in the Vale. The racks are neutral, which is a real pain in the arse, because we could really do with their 10,000 men. But we have got everyone else who has joined us. Unfortunately, some of them haven't got a great amount of men. Barrington can raise 5,000, but they haven't sent that. Same goes for a lot more of these lands. The Grey Cliffs, I believe, can raise a hell of a lot more than they've sent. They've only sent 4. Apparently, they can raise 5,100, but I know it's more than that, because I know the Dreadfort in the past... Look, the Dreadfort can raise 10,000 itself, so... Yeah, the Grey Cliffs can raise a hell of a lot more than it actually has sent us. So, unfortunately, we are very much lacking in manpower. Down in the Vale, let's have a look at what we're actually facing against us. We've got 4,000 Redfort men here, 8,000 Belmore men here, we've got 15,000 Corporees here. These are just what we can see. I'm worried that there may be some in these shadowy lands that we can't see. We've got nearly 11,000 Royce men, we've got 6,000 Templetons here, we've got 11,000 Greyjoys here, 6,500 Graftons here, and another 10,000 Ironborn here as well as the 3,100 Red Wolves. But House Mud is apparently on side still, so that's interesting to see. That hopefully we want the Muds to win this war against the Red Wolves. Then we could interfere with that if we can get our men south and put an end to that, which will then make the Muds the High Lords of Seaguard. And that will then give us, hopefully, the manpower of Seaguard, which will hopefully be a decent amount of manpower. The Muds have 5,500 men themselves, so if they were to get the rest of Seaguard, that might give us the extra manpower that we do need. So, let's unpause. I think we have got more men on the way. We're just trying to get all of our men together first before we plan out our next decision. One thing I am going to do, because I think if we're going to have any chance, we're going to need our best commanders, so I am going to stop Benfrey Lancer from being in charge of that. I want him in charge of our troops. Now, what commanding traits does he have again? He's a brilliant commander, a trickster, and an aggressive leader. Okay, so he'll be good to have with us. Your Grace, I grieve to report Sir Pierce's men have caused much damage to the castle and countryside after their siege of Blackholme. Yeah, a lot of stuff is being destroyed down in the Vale from our lands, which is not good. Right, so we've got our 40,000 men. What is the supply limit? It's 57,000 in Sevensport, 33,000 in Whitford, 28 in Sevenstar. It's going to be really low for the neck. 18,000, 28. We are going to have to split our army in half, which is what I am extremely, extremely worried about. So let's split this host. Let's send 20,000 under the command of... Okay, so John Hornbreaker is a very, very decent commander. We'll send John Hornbreaker. Oh, sorry. John Hornbreaker, Edmund Mooton, and Sansa Firehand. Let's send that army. On the fleet, let's sail that down to Greywater Watch. How much is the supply limit in Greywater Watch? 28,000, so we'll be okay there. And we might have to march the other 20. We might even... The supply limits are a little bit risky, though. 18,008, we can't even march them down there. We can't afford to lose manpower through attrition, so we've got to be careful what we do here. We need every last bit of manpower we can get. My courtier Andara Mootwell has expressed a desire to get married. Who even are you? A former slave? I've got no idea. He was married to Sir Theo, another person I have no idea. Do what you want, love. I could not care less. We've got much more pressing matters at the moment. We will bring the ships back for these 20,000. Let's just get these down to Greywater Watch quickly. I've got the Crossfort as well. Supply limit of 44,000. That's actually pretty good. Let's get... Yeah, let's get that 20,000 to the Crossfort, which I think does have defensive capabilities as well. I'm pretty sure it has a river crossing. So let's get these ships back to Sevensport. Just got to keep an eye out on the Ironborn. They look like they're busy down here. They're on the way to Willowood, because if there's war in Andalia, everybody knows that Willowood has to burn. It's just... That's just how it is. It's just how it goes. Yeah, let's get these 20,000 to the Crossfort quickly. Who have we got in charge of this one then? So we've got Enger, Benfrey, and have we got anyone else? Let's go for Daenerys High Oak, our trusted friend and advisor. Should we get Benfrey in the centre? Let's go for Benfrey in the centre, and we'll go for Enger out on the flank. Not really a great commander, but I think that he'd want to lead his armies himself. And let's embark that host and sail those down to Greywater Watch. 15,000 corporaries here. Where did the Red Fort host go? That's a little bit worrying. So we are vastly outnumbered, I believe. I think they've got about 60 to 70,000 men. Yeah, look, there's huge 20,000 here. Wow, another 27,000 there, so that's 47. That gives them 7,000 more. Then they've got 14. Yeah, we are hugely, hugely outnumbered, but they seem to have spread their armies quite a lot, which could work in our favour. We have got some more ships somewhere, haven't we? 82 ships. Have these got any men on them? 1,000. Okay. So not enough to really make any sort of difference, but I suppose 1,000 men's 1,000 men. It's something we could leave back in reserve just in case we do need them in the future. Do we have any other factions? Yeah, there's still a lot of dangerous factions. Just got to hope these don't go up against us. Crown Loyalists, Lord Danes, High Oak, and Lord Lionel of the Crone's Crossing. You should be legitimised. Why are you still known as Rivers, or is it just your nickname? Yeah, Lord Daney, I think it's just your nickname. That's fine then. Bit annoying, bit of a crap nickname when you've been legitimised, but I suppose some people would probably still look down on him for that. And we are losing manpower here because the other men have arrived already. Perfect, we've arrived in the Crossfort. Is the supply limit still good here? 44,000, yes. And Max Richards died at the age of 58 of natural causes. His son is the one of the sisters, isn't it? Yes, it is. Let's send... What's the supply limit here? 27,000. Let's send... Can we march that into the Northlands? They will get... Wow, quite a decent advantage, actually, which is not good. But we do have Benfreys. We've got to try and do some damp... Oh, but then they've got 7,000 marching here. Let's march onto the Crossfort. Let's get our host together and then reassess what we're going to do. I do feel like it would be a good thing to attack this Red Wolf army, just to crush it for the muds. How is this war actually going here? Because if we can get the city, it's just extra manpower. It's an extra 5 to 10,000 men that we could hopefully get. How is this war going? 55% in favour of House Mud. Hopefully we can help out with that then. Northlands. Is it, yeah, Crown Lister in the Northlands. We've been invited to a plot. Your Wisdom and Mercy Legendary would like you to back our plot to kill Sir Enger Sevenstar. No. Well, he's lost his leg. When did he lose his leg? I decline. Can we ask you to stop that plot? Don't think we can. But no, I decline. There's not enough male 7-stars around for you to go kill him. Oh no, we did have Theon in the last episode, didn't we? Who was born with the attractive trait as well, so that's good. He must have got that from his mother. Don't think Enger has that, does he? No. So, right. Let's... I'm worried about... We have got, I think, advantage here, though, so we could leave the 20,000 defending there, to be honest. And let's march this host onto Rushmore and try and help out with that battle. How much... Oh god, there is a huge Greyjoy host though marching northward. Yeah, let's go get Rushmore under siege. Let's try and end this war for House Mud, and hopefully they'll rally their men to our banners, because we are going to be in need of that. What is the supply limit here though? That's what I'm a little bit worried about. Bandits have raided the siege camps outside the Bloody Gate, killing many of the besieging soldiers. Okay. The supply limit in Rushmore is 19,000. We're just over. We could get there, though, and then split our host, but I am a little bit worried where that Greyjoy host... Oh, they have split. And Willowwood has been sacked. Of course Willowwood's been sacked. Oh, God. Would it be a Knights of Andalia war if Willowwood was not sacked? 20,000 men there. I don't think they dare attack us. We've got very good commanders here. I feel safe from those 20,000. We've got the river crossing advantage, as well as Benfrey Lancer there, so I think we'll be fine. Right, let's... Oh, wow, there's only 444 defenders. Let's split this host in half, and let's move 10,000 under the control of Ambrose of Owenshold to attack the army of Red Wolf and just try and end this war. Wow, 39%. This is going to be so hard to beat. Quentin Botley has arrived at your court. Wasn't he at our court anyway? What happened to Quentin Botley? And Guinea Harlaw has arrived at your court. Okay. But we need to start getting some war score in this. We need to go to battle soon. If that army marches off, we'll be able to attack this Corbury host without them having their reinforcements there. And let's just go for the assault. It's pretty poorly defended, and we need to end this war over here as quickly as possible and hopefully help out the Muds and help them win their war. Can we assault again? We could do, but we're not going to. We're going to march this host back up north. And once we win this battle here, we can march that host back north as well. The Greyjoys are close by, though. Instead, let's march that other host to Marlet Bay. We may need it. We could attack that Greyjoy host, actually. There isn't any reinforcements nearby, and the leader is there. We could capture Offgar. That Red Fort host is hopefully marching off so that we can attack them as well and start to do some damage back. I want to at least go down fighting if we're going to go down. Lord Robob of the Rills has given me bizarre and repulsive evidence concerning someone's sexual preferences. Whose? The Lesser Anvil. Well, what does this... We'll keep that to ourselves. I don't see what that's going to help us achieve, to be honest. And we have crushed that Red Wolf host. Has Fairmarket got an advantage? Even now that the pregnancy is over, my wife's craving for exotic foods have yet to stop. I think you've had enough, dear. I think Enger would be blunt and to the point. Hopefully we can capture Lady Red Wolf. That could really help. And it would hopefully help end the Mud War. We did slaughter the army. We only lost 121 men to their 2,000. So we have pretty much completely destroyed the host of House Red Wolf. Edmund Mooton is a better commander than Ambrose, isn't he? So we'll get him in there. Have we got a disadvantage here? No, there is no disadvantage. Let's attack that Greyjoy host then and hopefully cause some damage. That Red Fort host is marching back north. That Belmore one may be able to... But if we... It's risky. We're going to have to go for it. We're losing heavily. We're going to have to go for it and hope that our commanders can pull themselves through. Hopefully Benfrey Lancer will live up to his epic name. And I'm loving how we've got the Red Guard... not the Red Guard, the Errand Star armor here because we're in the crossfire. We do need to change this actually to the swords of House Redguard now that they are the overlords of this area. And we're going to have two battles going off at once. They've got small advantage, but we've got double the men. The Red Forts do look like they're marching back, but if we can get there first and cause some damage before the reinforcements arrive, hopefully the morale will already be gone. It seems my advice fell on deaf ears. Every day that passes, my wife keeps stuffing herself like a goose. So much for moderation. Okay, so she's going to become fat. How are the Muds doing in their war now? Are they winning this yet? It's still 55%, so that hasn't really helped. But now that we've done that, the Red Wolves have got no men to fight back, so hopefully the Muds will just get on with winning that war. Which host is going to arrive first? Are we going to attack the Greyjoys first or the Corberries? Either way, they've split their hosts over the river, so if we can win both of these and then somehow manage to get our army back together, we've got a good chance here. We've still got most of our manpower. Have those 1,000 men arrived now? Yes, they have. Let's embark that army, sell them to Greywater Watch. It's a small amount of reinforcement, but any reinforcement will help. Which army's going to arrive first? I do worry that the Greyjoy host is... Oh, they've both arrived at the same time. Greyjoy host... No, we are doing pretty well against the Greyjoy host, and we're doing pretty well against the Corbury host, even with the disadvantage. But the Red Fort men are coming, but hopefully they're going to arrive way too late. We have tidings from Fairmarket, where Sir John and Lord Paramount Offgar met as enemies in a duel. They fought each other fiercely, but John prevailed in the end, forcing Lord Paramount Offgar to yield, handing him over to you as a prisoner. Oh, that is amazing. We've got Lord Offgar as a prisoner. That is a very, very good prisoner for us to capture. The Royce army is on its way, but they're going to be too late. Hopefully this is going to be a bit of a suicide attack on their half now, and they're going to lose a lot of their manpower by risking it like this. Let's get these 900 down to the Northlands as well, just to combine that host. Right, let's have a look at our prisoners. So, Lord Offgar, sympathy for Westeros gods. I feel like just executing him after what he's done, to be honest. Who's his son and heir? Lord Alton. Nothing special about him. 0 years old. That could really help keep the Ironborn in line. But then again, it might be better to keep him as our prisoner for now. We will let him rot for now. He's rebelled. He's a traitor. We're not going to be kind to him. We've been kind to the children of Lord Templeton. They're children. They know no better. And the Belmore army is going to march up here and get itself slaughtered as well. So that's perfect. We will lift the siege of Fairmarket. That Royce host has now changed its mind. And Sir Oliver Snow was captured in battle and is now my prisoner. Okay, we will keep him where he is for now. Oh, I said we could recruit him. A daughter was born to Sir John Seymour and Ganna Sevenstar, named Riatala. And she is ugly, apparently. She's very nice. And yeah, that Belmore army is going to attack us foolishly. Let's lift the siege on Northlands. Siege of Fairstead. Perfect, right. Oh, that's 19,000 men. Let's march onto the Red Fork and lift the siege. We'll wait for this Belmore host to attack us, and then we'll march our armies down and try and make them meet in Willowwood. Hopefully the Mud hurry up and get on with what they're doing, but at least we've caused a huge amount of damage now. We've managed to get it down to -7 when we was over -50 before. Sir Oliver Snow, let's have a look at you. Skilled fighter, bastard, homosexual duelist, craven, wounded. No, we will let him rot for now. We'll sort the traitors out afterwards, and that Belmore host has just got itself slaughtered. And the Royce host seems to be returning home. I wonder if they'll use the Bloody Gate. You were separated from your men in the chaos of battle and now find yourself in the midst of war. As you scan the battlefield to try and rejoin the forces, you see Sir Pierce break through the enemy ranks and charge you. Sir Pierce of Wickenden Keep. He's a trained fighter and a knight. He's also a duelist, 21 martial, 80 personal combat skill. Let's have a look at ourselves. 120. Trained fighter and a knight, so we do have a lot more better. Who's offering to fight for us? Nana Harlaw. Oh yeah, I've got to see Nana. Yes, get back your grace. I'll handle this. Go on, Nana Harlaw, with your 2 Valyrian. If you lose that, there's something wrong. Nana Harlaw should slaughter him with her 2 Valyrian steel swords. Surely she will slaughter him. A great victory. Well, nothing popped up, so I'm guessing that she didn't die, which is a good thing. Right, let's merge these together with our reinforcements and let's march them down to Willowwood. And we can combine our forces in Willowwood once the siege of the Red Fork has been lifted. There we go. And that is pretty well under siege actually, so let's do a couple of assaults on that. Wow, it's been sieged down a lot. And another assault. We'll stay on this side of the river for now, just because it's more defensive. Do you know what? We'll march onto the Blue Fork. Because that's the way that we're going to go anyway. Yeah, so we'll march onto the Blue Fork, and then we'll march onto Willowwood once the other host gets down here. What is the supply limit in Willowwood? 20,000. Wickham, 29,000. Errandford, 27,000. Okay, maybe if we lift the siege on Willowwood, though, that will improve it. It is a big port city. Well, river city, so hopefully it will have a decent supply chain. But here, 18,000 Royces, 6,000 Graftons, 11,000 Templetons. There may be more manpower in here that we've not seen. Got 360 ships here. Do you know what? It might be a good idea to sail those ships round here to Saltpans. Just so they're close by. If needed. How far away are you from Wickham now? Almost there. Do you know what? Let's send this army into Willowwood then. You can stay in Wickham for now. Just so we're close by each other, if needed. We may actually be able to sway this in our favour with how things are going now. Just by the way that they've sent their troops out on suicide missions, it gives a very, very good chance of improving this, which is awesome. Let's have a look. We've got those several prisoners that we could do stuff with. Is there any dangerous factions still? Independence, Benfreys for Andalia, Crown Law. Nothing new, I don't think, so that's good. Let's lift the siege of Willowwood. Level 2 fortress at Willowwood, so it's an easy victory. And let's go for another assault, level 1.4. Yes, so we've saved Willowwood once again. Poor Willowwood. The inhabitant... Why anyone wants to live there anymore, I do not know. My god, it is ridiculously under siege though, isn't it? But that has got us up to 25% now, which is perfect. 27%. Puts us in a very good position. Let's march this host on to High Oak, and we'll march the other host down to Willowwood. No, I want you to march to High Oak. There we go. And we'll keep both our armies on this side of the Green Fork. At the mouth of the Trident, we've got our ships nearby. I don't really want to march up into the Bloody Gate. That would be absolute suicide. But I could trap their host for now. If we get a good supply lane, we can stop them from coming out. They are suffering attrition. We've got to play this smart just because of the lack of manpower. We were, like, doubly outnumbered, so it's good that it's now on our side. So let's march down. At least we're on this side of the river as well, at High Oak, which is perfect. And we've got our other host down in Willowwood. Should we march onto Chiltern? It is hills. Yeah, we'll march onto Chiltern. Oh, no, there's not. Yeah, it's only a small Belmore host. Yeah, we'll march onto Chiltern because we do have the advantage of the hills as well there. at least if someone tries to attack us, we'll be in a good position to do so. So let's go and attack that Belmore host, which will slaughter. The leader's there. Hopefully we can capture Lord Belmore. And the Muds have just slaughtered the Red Wolf host as well, so hopefully that's going to end that war. Your commanding presence on the battlefield in Chiltern was felt during the recent victory by friends and foes alike. You bolstered the spirits of men when it was needed most, and you personally led the final charge that broke the back of the enemy army. Songs will be sung of this day, 100 prestige. Awesome. That's good. So he's making himself a good commander, Enger. Even though we are a steward-focused king, he still is a decent commander, which is awesome to see. At least he's leading the troops himself. I'm just still super glad that the Racks haven't bestirred themselves. We will make Joe a Rack pay for this. We are friends with his sons, so replacing him with Moribald or Medgar is fine. I think we're friends with both of those. Your courtier... Oh no, we're not friends with Moribald, we're friends with Medgar. But we get on well with Moribald. Who's his daughter? Ariane Rack. And then the Samwar Rack. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of what Joe has done. And staying neutral is as bad as opposing us. He still broke his vows, so... not happy with that, especially with the amount of manpower that he could have brought to the fray. And if he decides to join, then I'm really worried. How is this war going now with the Muds and the Red Wolves? It is 87% in favour of House Mud. Perfect, and they're now sieging down the capital, so that should be done soon. There is a large temple, well, a large Vale host, 2 large Vale hosts, very close. I'm a little bit worried about it. Can we get this ship any closer? No, Saltpans is the closest it can come. I don't really want to be marching into Vale territory. I'm quite happy with where our host is placed at the moment. Can we march this host into Saltpans without... well, no, that host is marching there. No. 27,000 Templeton men marching this way. Are they going to march onto Children? They are suffering badly from attrition. A son was born to Medgar Rack and Pera Wainwood, named Heref Rack. Okay. What's the supply limit in Chiltern? 27,000. Willowwood, 38,000. Oh, do you know what? Let's fall back onto Willowwood. Because there we can actually sit both of our armies together without suffering any attrition. And at least then we're better prepared for whatever may march out at us. I don't want to get... we haven't got any advantages in Willowwood. That's the only problem. Blue Fork, 22. Red Fork, 35. Now that would not be a bad place to sit our armour. My daughter was born to Eddard Steelheart and a Lister of Turnbridge Keep named Illyrius Steelheart, club-footed. They always seem to have deformities in House Steelheart whenever someone's born. They're either a dwarf or club-footed or hunchbacked or something like that. The war isn't quite going as I thought it would. I lose more men per battle than I'd planned, and the sieges are going on forever. More manpower and more siege weapons are what I need. Perhaps a friend could assist me with this. Ask a friend to join the war. Who is it? My friend Sir Bernard of Wickerden. House Redstone. Oh, ask politely for more money. Yeah, let's ask my friend to join the war. Let's see if Lord Redstone will join the war on my side from the Vale. That could work. Amazing. Representatives of Benfreys Snow have requested an audience with you. Upon meeting with them before the court, you hear they are offering to pay his ransom. No, I shall not accept. That's the last thing I need, is him getting out and somebody using that to their advantage and trying to crown him. Where are those Greyjoys going? Greyjoys, Templeton host, huge Templeton and Corbury host there. We are losing manpower here, actually. 7 fat. Do you know what? Will they attack us if we try and attack them? No, 39 fat. Let's do it. Let's destroy that Greyjoy host, and then we can march on to that Templeton host. There isn't any reinforcements nearby, I don't think, so we might be able to get away with attacking both these hosts. Or there is a Grafton host and a Corbury host marching down, though. They are going to get a slight advantage there, but we've got 39,000 men. We should be okay. Hopefully. Dear Sir Bernard, my duties to my family and my vassals disallows me to help you at this moment. I hope the war will turn in your favour, and I wish you to win the war quickly. Never mind. I think that's probably just the game mechanics that might not allow them to join with us. We've slaughtered that Greyjoy host at least, though. And we have captured Maester Raymond in battle. Okay. Interesting. A strange choice. Is Seven's Point... oh my god, Seven's... oh no, that was the Greenstone, wasn't it? I panicked then. I was like, oh my god, people are sieging Seven's Port, but they're not. They're not. That's just our siege. Let's march on to High Oak and destroy that small Grafton host before it can combine with anybody. He's moaning. Yeah, let him rot for now. These are all traitors, and they will get their just cause at the end of the war. destroyed that Grafton host. Perfect. Enger, you haphazard brute. A shout carries over the plains where I am fighting a close battle alongside my personal guards. In the distance I see enemy reinforcements coming our way. Listen, I begin to my soldiers. We are going to destroy them. Gain the trait Aggressive Leader. Turtle formation like we practice. We gain the trait Defender. You know what we have. They don't. Each other. Inspiring Leader. Follow your gut or mine. Trickster. No, let's go for the Inspiring Leader trait. Which is awesome that we've gained that now. Let's... Oh, Yorick Templeton is personally leading that host. We could get him under our control. Let's go for it. Let's destroy this Templeton host and see if we can capture him. Your Grace, our fledgling new bank, has granted one of its first loans. Archdamon Zelzerian of Draconis has taken our loan of 66 gold. Okay. Well, it's in our favour, doesn't it? We'll take that. Let's try and destroy this Templeton host, which we should be able to do with ease. There is a Royce host on the way, but they're going to march into suicide, and Willowwood has just been sacked. We have tidings from Saltpans, where Sir John and Lord Yorick met as enemies in a duel. They fought each other fiercely, but Sir John prevailed in the end, forcing Lord Yorick to yield, handing him over to you as a prisoner. Amazing. Enemy commander slain in the chaos surrounding the Battle of Saltpans. My men cornered Delika Taboy, whoever that is. Some guy fighting. Oh my god, it's Jogus Nye. Good riddance. He's dead. Thank god for that. And that ends the war for us. We've actually managed to win this war somehow. Offer peace. End force demands. The wicked in war for Lord Hugh's claim on Mountain and Vale has ended. High King Enger III of Andalia has won.
Yield. Yield. Do it, or your death is certain. The words that he had screamed in the face of Yorick Templeton. Similar ones had he said towards Othgar Greyjoy. And then, when his words had been accepted, it was over. A war that threatened to tear apart the realm of King Enger III, one that looked impossible to win. And yet, here he stood, the war now resting behind them, and the Seven had blessed them with victory. He still couldn't believe it. Both the Iron Islands and the Vale had fought against the men of House Sevenstar, and both had lost. Many of the old lords had proven to barely support the Sevenstars, many thinking they would lose. But House Sevenstar proved victorious again. After so many fears and so many prayers to the Seven, it had all paid off. As many times as he didn't believe that he was able to do this, the Seven had blessed him, and the warrior gave him the needed strength to fight for King Enger. He had helped save the realm against Daenys Corbury, Yorick Templeton, and Othgar Greyjoy. It was good that this issue rested behind them, thank the gods. As he remained in his thoughts, his eyes wandered through the camp. After their victory, letters had flown in from all around the realm, of lords surrendering to the Sevenstars and submitting to their mercy. Tired and relieved, men wandered the camps, glad to have won, to have lived. The ground was muddy and the clouds looked to be brewing a storm, and yet it felt like it was the brightest of days. Then, noise behind him, as the King of Andalia left the tent. Sir John bowed before the man that he called King, the only king that ruled from the trident to the fever. The king motioned for the man to rise himself up again, and so the Hornbreaker did as he was asked. It was clear that the king was tired, thick rings around his eyes. I haven't had time to thank you, Sir John. You have been invaluable to my cause and have helped to save the realm. You have been my most loyal champion, and trust me, you and your family will be rewarded for this. The king uttered with that usual cold tone, but it seemed more warm to him. My king, I only did my duty. You owe me nothing. I have only done the duties that you asked of me, and what any man would have done, Sir John answered, the words being ones that he truly believed. No, not every man would have done this. You have done so much for us. You deserve all the praise that you have received. You have been a leal and able servant. I will have Sir Norbert guard me. You may go and rest for the coming 2 days, King Enger uttered. Sir John was shocked, knowing that his duty came before anything else. Your Grace, this is my duty. That is an order from your king. Go ahead and rest, replied Enger, interrupting the sentence of Sir John. As you wish, he answered, bowing and then departing for his tent. You may rest now, Sir John. You may rest now.
Okay, we have got the wildling. The war has been won. The rebel armies have been crushed by our brave loyalists. Lord Yorick Templeton, one of the traitors, has been brought before you to hear your judgment. Send him to the dungeon. Lord Lionel Redfort, send him to the dungeon. Lord Willem of Ghoultown, send him to the dungeon. Lady Alyssa Redwolf, send her to the dungeon. Lord Paramount Offer Greyjoy, send him to the dungeon. Lord Belmore, send him to the dungeon. Lord Royce, send him to the dungeon. Lord Samuel of the Fingers, send him to the dungeon. Is that everybody? My prisoner, Lord Ryman Redfort, is complaining. Let him rot. We'll sort out the prisoners in a moment. Let her rot. Let him rot. And these are all traitors of the realm, and we need to put them in their places. My prisoner, Lord Yorick Templeton, is complaining about the dark cells in the dungeon that he and his family are occupying and is asking for more suitable accommodation. No, I think you can stay where you are. Some heads are going to roll, that's for sure. Right, let's disband our army. Oh, we're not in our homelands. Well, we are in our homelands. We've got to wait for stuff to end properly, haven't we? Can we disband the fleet? No, let's sail. Just sail the fleet home, then it's not going to be too much trouble. Got to wait for the war to end, haven't we? My prisoner, Lord Edric Belmore, is complaining about his cells. No, you can stay where you are. Just wait for the war to end, and then we can disband our men. I can't believe we actually managed to get away with that. Thank you, John Hornbreaker. We still do have many dangerous factions, though. Not as many as we did have. Some of them seem to have faded away. Maybe we've scared some of the people into submission now. Just waiting for us to be able to disband our armies. Let's take a look at all our prisoners then. We've got 12 prisoners. We can hire a new banker, so let's do that. The banker of the Bank of the Crown has arrived in Sevensport. He goes by the name of Jonas, an Andor Northman, who is a brilliant steward and just. Perfect, another banker. I don't think we can employ any more for now, can we? No, so let's have a look at what we've got. Lady Alyssane the Rash of Seaguard. I'm going to revoke your title, the High Lordship of Seaguard. Can we not actually do that? Okay, we can't do that. Well, it looks like you're going to lose that anyway, aren't you? Let's be honest. So, who's your heir? Sir Ellard Redwolf. 14-year-old knight. Impressive. Instead then, your mother shall be... what should we know? We're going to execute her. Do it. She will be hanged. My actions have killed a member of my extended family. I've gained the familiar Kingslayer. Oh, behave. She's like a very, very, very distant cousin. Lord Ellard of Seaguard is inherited High Lordship of Seaguard. Okay. We had her hanged. Vassals of Andalia now view you with respect. Right, what have we got for our next prisoner? Arwyn Templeton, you should stay as our guest. Lord Eldrick the Just of Strongsong. Well, you're not that just, are you? Refusing marriage. We could banish you to the Night's Watch, or do we just execute you? Let's wait for our troops to get home. The war between the great powers of Andalia have subsided for now. Until the next time, right, we should be able to disband our troops now without losing too many once they arrive in where they are. Right, can we now disband you? No, we're still going to... Oh, we're not going to lose Mena. We can disband that, that's fine. Right, let's have a look. What else have we got? So we'll keep you, Hugh Royce, our cousin, so that's not going to go down well. Maybe as he's our cousin, we will send him to the... We will have mercy, and we will banish him to the Night's Watch. Takes care of him. Lord Belmore will do the same. They could do with men at the Night's Watch for now. Banish Lord Eldrick Belmore to the Night's Watch. Lyman Redfort, a young 18-year-old. You just have siblings, so the family line is safe. We will banish you to the Night's Watch. We'll show mercy. The Night's Watch is in need of manpower as well. Willen Grafton. We will banish you to the Night's Watch as well. Oliver Snow. Can we not banish you? No, we can't banish you. So we'll just execute you instead. We'll have you hanged. Who else have we got? Offgar Greyjoy. Yeah, I don't trust this guy. I don't think banishing him to the Night's Watch is a good idea. I may just have him executed. Who is his heir? A 1-year-old. Which should work in our favour. Yeah, we'll have you executed. You went way beyond. We'll have you hanged. Like the common criminal you are. Who else have we got? Raymond. Maester Raymond. Can we banish you to the Night's Watch? No, we can't, so we'll just have you executed. We'll have you hanged. And is that about everybody? Literally just Yorick Templeton left. One-handed, wow, so, and severely injured. So he's going to die anyway, isn't he? So let's... I don't want to banish him. I want to execute him. He will be hanged. The vassals now view us as intimidating, which is probably good. And who do we have left? Samuel Corbury. Can we start revoking some of your titles? Then again, I don't really want to give the titles out to anybody. Let's have a look. Revoke title. Hi. Well, you can keep the fingers. That was your original one. Can we take the Lordship of the Area away? Yes, we can. Perfect. Can we revoke other titles? The High Lordship of Northwold. Oh, that will upset vassals, but I'm not really bothered about that, to be honest, for now. Iron Oaks, we will take. We'll revoke the title of Eastwold as well. Take House Corbury's power away from them finally. Northwold, yep. And where's the Castle of Creek Castle? You can keep that. Where is it? Yeah, it's in Heartsholme. Heartsholme High Lordship. Yep, you can keep your remaining titles. And you will be put in house arrest. You can stay as our guest to ensure the loyalty and best behaviour of House Corbury. You're only a child. And we'll do the same with the Templeton girl. She can stay as our guest. She's in house arrest, isn't she, already? So is Benfrey, and Samuel Corbury can remain the same as well. Right, so we've got these new titles now to hand out. Let's have a look. So I think the Coldwaters were the High Lords of this area, wasn't they? Lingrave, whoever they are. And, yeah, so if we go with Lady Coldwater, we will grant you the title of the High Lordship of, I think it was Northwold, wasn't it? Yes, including the lower titles. Let's give these titles back to who they belong to. Lord Hunter. Are you the right hunters? I think it's this hunter, isn't it? We will grant you the landed title of... I think it's Eastwold, isn't it? Yes, including the lower titles. Who else needs their old titles? Like the Iron Oaks. Who have we got? Have we got House Harding still in Hardvale? No, we haven't. So, House Wainwood. Grand landed title. High Lordship of Iron Oaks. Hopefully this will make new Vale Lords a little bit more loyal. Which ones have we still got? We've still got the Lordship of the Eyrie to give away, Lordship of Scorched Vale, Lordship of Bear Island, Lordship of Sevensport, High Lordship of the Mother's Embrace, High Lordship of the Giant's Lance that we still have. I think that's all of them that we've given away for now. We're not over our limit either, so we'll keep one. So now we can usurp the Kingdom of the North, which I'm not going to do. I don't really want any more of the North, to be honest, for now. I don't think there's much more that we can do for now. We've cleared out the prisons and the dungeons and such. I don't know what I'm going to do with the Eyrie just yet. And we have also got Scorched Vale. I don't really know who I want to land there. I don't think we've really got anyone. Has Lord Hornbreaker got any land yet? I don't believe he has, but if I give him land and then make someone his overlord, that's going to then mean that we'll lose him as our bodyguard, and I don't really want to lose him as our bodyguard because he's like really, really good. Do we have anyone else? Malister. Oh, no, we've already got Malisters. John Hornbreaker. I do believe he has a son though, Sir Belgrave Hornbreaker. So let's grant him the landed title of Scorched Vale, including the lower titles that come with it, and then Lord Owen Steelheart, who did remain loyal, we will grant you the High Lordship of the Mother's Embrace. Perfect. That's a loyal vassal there, hopefully. Puts people in line. I didn't revoke. I should have revoked the High Lordship of Wickerden, shouldn't I? But it's too late now, and you'll rebel if I try and take that. So we're going to have to leave that. Probably should have put someone in charge of the Iron Isles, but I don't think it's going to matter. We've got them in line now. The war has ended. Do you wish to reappoint the old council? Gains the time. Yeah, we'll go with the old council. We do want to, actually. I want to imprison Joe Arak. Jorak is now safely locked away in my dungeon, awaiting his fate. This was not a just out. Well, it was a just out. That's ridiculous. I hate how this game works sometimes. Some of your kin are unhappy that... Oh, I wonder who. Oh, what a surprise. It's Hilario. Piss off, Hilario. Right, you will be... Should we just send him to the Night's Watch? He looks in pretty rough shape anyway. He's probably going to die soon anyway. He's a lunatic. It will upset our friends, though. We will show mercy... and we will banish him. He should go to the Night's Watch, shouldn't he? Yeah, you have decreed that Jorak should be stripped of all titles. He will be of use on the wall, and the vassals of Andalia now view us with respect. So obviously it was a good thing to do. So why have we lost the just trait? An absolute joke. I may just add that back because it doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, we've got some decent commanders that we've now regained. This Hunter Lord's pretty decent. We've got our Master at Arms not doing anything. We can get him now to go back and train the troops. Now that we've got everything back in line. Stopped open rebellion once more, which is perfect. Got 360 ships still making their way home to Sevenstar. I can't believe we actually got away with that war. Are we injured or are we just covered in blood from fighting? I don't think we're injured. We're a kinslayer now, though, which is just stupid. Really stupid. How are our sons looking? Prince Florian looks fine. Prince Fion looks fine. Your Grace, our fledgling new bank has granted one of its first loans. Awesome, 124 gold. Great to hear. Can we hire any more bankers? I don't think we can yet. That's fine. Get our ships home. Hopefully we can now have some peace in Andalia, finally. Benfreys, we've still got people plotting in the Vale, on the Sisters, in the Riverlands. So we're still going to have trouble, it would seem. But we will get these lords back in line at some... Right, let's disband the Andalian fleet. Get that back in line. We have got the high star that we could probably land the Vale back underneath at some point, but we won't do that for now. We've got the Wildling War, but it doesn't look like we're going to need to get any of our own men involved. So we will end this episode here, guys. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode. It was over. After wars, death, loss, and the madness of the last few years, it was over. The dust had settled and the seven-pointed star was still shining above Andalia for another day. A great weight felt lifted from Enger's shoulders, one that had been plaguing him for years. It had all gone away, and Enger was, strangely, at peace. The legacy of his mother, his uncle, his brother, and all Sevenstars who had come before him had not proven in vain. Rather, their legacy was to continue. The seeds that the Raven of Corbury had planted worked well. The betrayal of Hugh Royce had been one that he would never have expected. But in the madness of Andalian politics, what could you expect? The Bronze Lord had sought the crown that his family had never truly held. They had claimed it, that was for certain, but the Arryns had vanquished them. Now the Sevenstars had done so too. Truthfully though, one man deserved praise above all else. Sir John Hornbreaker had been Enger's greatest defender and champion. When Sir Danes sent forward his own champion, Sir John stepped forward and vanquished the Valyrian and defeated one of Andalia's greatest foes in turn. Now he had captured both the traitorous Lord Templeton and Lord Greyjoy, an accomplishment that House Sevenstar was forever indebted to the Hornbreaker. The lords that had dared rise against him were properly punished for being what they were, oathbreakers. Lister may have been merciful, but the mercy of Lister had cost his brother his life, and Enger had no use for traitors, lickspittles and cravens. The traitorous Bronze Lord had only escaped his judgment because of their relation, and rather stripped of all his lands and sent to the wall, where so many of Andalia's enemies have gone to rot and suffer. Now the bodies of Belmore and so many others adorned the walls of the keep. The sword would have been too good for this lot. No, they had been hanged, like commoners, not like nobles. A traitor deserves nothing else. Their bodies had been removed from any finery that they normally wore, being hung in grey rags like rats. For that was truthfully the only thing that they resembled, not Sir, Lord, or even King as some enjoyed to style themselves as.
They were merely rats that had come from the gutters and now returned to them. The rats had proven to be without loyalty once more. If they had thought him spineless and certain in their ability to betray the crown, how wrong they truly were. Now their red god-believing lord enjoyed the cold comforts of the wall. Oaths binded the realm, and all those who broke them were enemies of Andalia. The war that had passed was one that he could have lost, yet they had prevailed, again and again. The war had rooted out the last seeds that had been placed by Danes, bringing a sense of normalcy back towards the Vale, and a rather equal balance of power. The Raven had flown high, the Bronze Giant higher, and yet they had all fallen. As his eyes looked over the city of Sevensport, he thought about all that he had lost until now, the deaths that haunted him, his mother, brother, uncle, and others beyond count. This war had not been won for him, but for them. May they rest securely at last.